Alright, what's up YouTube? Today we're gonna go over the new patch 13.1 top meta comps. It is now a late game meta. It is not an early game meta. You will not see too many 1 cost, 2 cost rerolls. There's gonna be a couple. There's only a couple 3 cost rerolls, but the best comps that can give you first and second places is a lot of 4 cost and 5 cost carries. So we can go over it. Before I get started with the top meta comps, you want to try to play when your augment choices, you want to do aggressive augments that will save you HP while not having to roll at all at level 4, 5, or 6. You really only want to roll on 7 a little bit to stabilize and roll most of your carries at level 8, unless you're contested, then you might have to roll to 7 until you hit before. And then I can go over all the S tier comps right here. All of these comps, as though they're the strongest comps in the game that can give you a first place, they're also going to be the most contested, starting with the most contested on top with the least contested on bottom. So right now, the strongest late game comp that can consistently give you first places is 4 aces with MF carry. You play Shojin, Jewel Gauntlet, and any third damage item on MF. You don't really want to itemize Samira because she's not as important. You want to do a set frontline with Jax and Wukong as the mechs, giving them HP, give them redemption, give them BT, and any third defensive item. Titan's Resolve is also pretty good, gives them AD and defensive stats. It's really hard to hit because it's really contested, but if you're able to hit the 2-star set and the 2-star MF, you're pretty much solid. You just got to have the 4 aces, so you got to hit an early Mord and you're set to go. Or if you have ace emblem, you're able to stabilize a lot faster than a lot of other people. So you can play pretty much anything starting with this. Any augments that like Ascension, any econ augments are really good with these. You want to try to do econ augments that get you ahead earlier than later. You don't want to sack early game, and you want to play just as strong a board as possible. Same thing with Renegade's Viego. If you get a 2-star Salus, 2-star Talon, you can just put the AP items on Talon. You can put AD items on Fiora and pretty much play that until you get to MF Viego duo carry. If you get Aphelios late game, you can put those items on Aphelios. MF is the best duo with Viego, but you can play Zed, you can play Bel'Veth, Asol even, and just kind of make that work. Obviously, you need at least 3 Renegades, and then whoever is your duo carry can hold all the emblems, like the Renegade emblems, the Oxforce emblems. And Oxforce got a really big buff, so it should be good to carry you early, mid, and late game. And then if you get a really good AP admin buff that gives you mana or gives you a lot of ability power, then you definitely want to go the LeBlanc Soraka route. Soraka just wants blue buff and then just 2 AP items. And then you don't really want Rabadons or Archangel and Soraka. JG and anything else after that really helps. And then LeBlanc, she can use blue buff, she can use Shojin, and then just 2 AP items as well. And then LeBlanc is a really good comp that if you're actually falling behind, you can go for LeBlanc and try to play Soraka or to play a late game, depending on if you get a good admin or not. That's a comp that I really recommend. It's not as contested, and if you lower early game, this can kind of stabilize you mid game. Going to the A tier, you could really give me a case that Kai'Sa is S tier, but I feel like Kai'Sa can be really hit or miss, and it's hard to stabilize unless you have a lot of gold. So unless you get Double Trouble, you get a lot of gold like Hustler or Rich Get Richer, and you get to level 7 and you just reroll Kai'Sa. She wants Rage Blade, Shiv, Gunblade, or just any speed items, JG, and like hopefully some type of healing augments, a healing item. so that way she doesn't just get one shot. And you can just play 3-star threats or 3-star Star Guardian with a couple of threats in the front as well. And that's usually your go-to. You can play Chimera reroll. Again, if you get a good admin with AD admin or AD buff, or if the admin is attack speed, you can go Camille reroll. You can even reroll Draven with it as well if the admin is good with it. And if you have the Draven augment, I think it's called Ruthless Blades or Ruthless Draven or something like that. That gives them a lot of crit. You go IE Last Whisper Draven with BT, and then you can do that with admin if the admin's good, or you can just play 4 defenders. With Set, Rukon, Jax, and then if you can play 5 mech as well with it. It's pretty strong. Mech got buff, so, and then you can play Chimera Draven together, or you can just play one or the other. Kind of depends what you hit and what items and what the admin is. And then for Camille, it's BT, IE, Runans, Last Whisper, similar items to Draven, so these can go like neck and neck with each other. Onto the B tier. These are comps that I will only recommend if you get a really, really strong start or high roll, and you have like either the Duelist emblem, Laser Corpse emblem, or Heart emblem, or a really good start for, I guess, Lulu or Yuumi. But I wouldn't really play supers in this meta because super got nerfed, so I'll be beware before you play any supers reroll comps. But yeah, play Duelist. Vayne is going to be your main carry. Late game is going to be Zed. You can put Thieves Gloves on Zed just to have 2 items on him at least, or Edge of Night BT with a good 80 item is good. You definitely want Duelist Emblem or Duelist Heart. Duelist Emblem is definitely a lot better. Duelist Heart, I don't even know if I would ever pick up Duelist Heart, to be honest, in this meta, but if you high roll it, maybe it won't be too bad. And you definitely want Locket because you're going to be lacking a lot of frontline. Laser Corpse, if you just get a bunch of Laser Corpse, 3 Laser Corpse is probably the strongest early game you can play. And a lot of times I just pivot out of Laser Corpse, but if you get Laser Corpse Emblem and you high roll a bunch of Laser Corpse, then you can just push to 7 as fast as you can. Don't worry about your econ. It's morally just get in the top 4 and then getting out. And then the only way you can get a top 2 if you get like a 2-star Mordekaiser with like 7 Laser Corpse, and then give them AP item JG Hodge, and then honestly if you get RFC, that will do really good as well. But all these comps get destroyed by all the ace comps and all the comps I showed before, so you're just trying to get a 4th. And with Heart rerolls, I mean Heart Zoe blue buff, or you can do the Lulu Chinese Lulu tech, in which you just 3-star Lulu, and you get, it's just 3-star Lulu, 3-star Gangplank, and 3-star either Galio or Nasus. You just need 3 stars, and then you just push levels. You don't try to 3-star everybody, and that's what makes Lulu strong, is that you don't waste your time rerolling so much. As long as you hit it really, really early, I usually roll down at level 4 once I have 50 gold, and try to get as much 3-stars as possible, and then build your econ up and just level to try to go 8 as fast as possible. And then Yuumi, Yuumi's still playable, but with the supers nerf, it's definitely not, it's like half its strength. So if you high roll it, you might get a 3rd, but I wouldn't really recommend playing it. But I've seen Masters players get top 4s with it every once in a while. But again, it's one of those, you have to really high roll it, and then definitely want the Yuumi augment with it. So that's all the tier list. Oh, I also didn't mention, if you get certain carry augments, you can always just play off your carry augments. Like the Yasuo Omnivamp one, you can just reroll Yasuo, 3-star Yasuo, and either play 6 Laser Corps or 4-6 Duelists, or you can play 3 supers with it. Super is probably the worst version of it. But yeah, I didn't really add that in there because I think you should only play that if you get the Omnivamp Yasuo augment. But yeah, I think that's really it. I definitely still try to play flexible. I definitely wouldn't try to force any of the S tier comps unless you get a really good start for it. But even then, a lot of the S tier comps are very contested, so Definitely keep the A and B tier comps in the back of your mind when you're uh, looking at your shops. If I miss any comps that I think I should include it, comment those below. If you like the video, give it a like, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.